Hi, Trackball fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at the ProtoArc EM03 space NL wireless radio frequency and 2 Bluetooth connections trackball. And there's the box, which is it's got a substantial amount of marketing material in it for what I was surprised by how much there is. It's not a lot. It's just compared to most companies, it's a lot. Now, the first thing that I want to tell you about is this this giant, which is almost as big as my hand, and I have a medium hand and that's almost large enough to palm a basketball, like this almost, but not quite. But anyways, it is different than any trackball I've ever had before. Now, obviously, if you need to clean this or you need to clean the contact points inside, you can just push your finger through here, even if it's just your pinky, and that or something that like the eraser on a pencil. You can push that through there, and it comes out very, very easily. In fact, it's so easy to take out that you can just go like this, and you can clean it. And you want to. There are 3 contact points in here: 1, 2, and 3. Plus, there's the sensor. And you'll want to clean around those contact points because over time it builds up with the oil from your hand, skin cells, dead skin cells, of course, and other debris, especially if you eat and use this. And then it's very nice. It's very attractive. There are 2 other colors available for this, although off the top of my head, I don't remember which ones. I think one of them is red and the other one's purple, but I could be wrong. And it won't fall out accidentally, fortunately, unless you really, really try. And you can see that on the bottom, we have the buttons, or the button for DPI, as well as for switching between radio frequency and Bluetooth. And then we have the dongle right there and the power switch right there. And now you'll know. Now, if you've looked at trackballs before, you'll be familiar with the idea of the buttons being up here somewhere. But in this case, they've done a complete redesign. And at first, I was like, "Wow, that's weird," but it does make sense. Unfortunately, it does take some time for your brain to adjust to it if you've used trackballs in the past. But that's the price to pay when anybody makes an improvement on a design that's a standard design. So don't be overwhelmed by it. I think this is a good design, honestly. It is, because of how large it is, it supports your hand very nicely. And you're going to be using these 2 fingers, the index and middle finger, for moving the ball around. And then you'll be using most likely your ring finger for this button over here. The button isn't particularly noisy, but it is a little bit noisy. And then on this side, we have the browsing buttons as well as the right button, the left button, and then the scroll wheel button. And those are the browsing buttons. And that is the left button and the scroll wheel. A little bit of noise. A little bit more noise when you click it. So you're going to have it like this. And at first, I was really struggling with it. And I definitely can say, having used it to play games casually, that I found it to be problematic for me. Now, maybe there was something I could have done with the settings of the game to make it easier for me to use it. But I've always found trackballs to be slightly disadvantageous for gaming. And that's just a drawback. But for other uses, I think these are really, really nice. And this one in particular is better than average for multiple reasons, including having a scroll wheel, whereas a lot of trackballs don't have scroll wheels, and the browser buttons. I can't say that very many trackballs have browser buttons these days, but then again, I haven't seen very many trackballs of late. I like how they just made that scroll wheel just pop out there. I'm not sure that everybody else was going to feel the same way as I do about it. But it once you get used to it, it's pretty easy to use. it just takes a while for your brain to figure out, oh, okay, I use my thumb for the left button and I use my ring finger for the right button, and you also use your thumb for the other things over here. And it does come, of course, with a charging cable, and that's really all there is. Let me think here. Let me just look at my notes real quickly. I really like the fact that the DPI button is underneath, because for me at least, I don't really need the DPI button very much. Now, if you are somebody who uses the DPI button a lot, this is going to be inconvenient for you. I don't know. I would love to know, if you're somebody who does use the DPI button a lot, why are you using it a lot? Are you using it a lot in gaming? Are you using it a lot in art or something else? Please let me know what you use the DPI button, because for me, really, most of the time, I always have it on just one DPI, no matter what kind of a mouse it is. Let's see. And this is recommended for medium and large hands for obvious reasons. I think possibly a small hand could, all you got to do is inch up your hand. And I think a small hand could use this, but I think it might be somewhat awkward, especially if you have a very narrow hand. Let's see. I guess that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. If you would like to help me and get something out of it by helping me on a one-time basis, you can go to my eBay channel, the PC Expert Amateur, where you can purchase the items that I have on sale there. There are lots of keyboards and mouses and some other items as well. I've got cable organizers with power supplies and a bunch of other stuff, a nice variety of things that I have reviewed in the past and I no longer need, and I need to make space. Plus, I also need the money. So if you want to do that, the information's on the screen.
I need to ask for your help. Things have been challenging. Whose life hasn't been challenging lately? So if you can please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications, that would be really, really super. Also, if you'd like to help me financially and you can't afford to, you can do a super thanks on my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, or you can become a member there. Or if you prefer, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there instead. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleeping Computer for their support of my channel. If you need resources for computers, for getting rid of malware and learning about cybersecurity and stuff, Bleeping Computer, BLEEPING computer.com is a great resource. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.